What's up everybody, it's Matt from the house, and in this video we're going to show you a few of our favorite women's all mountain boards for the 22-23 season. Let's check these out. All right, first up we've got a board that has been in Burton's line for a long time, the Feelgood. This thing is basically kind of like a women's version of the custom. It's for those girls that want to charge hard. They want a board they can ride in the POW. They want a board they can ride in the park. They want a board they can ride everywhere in between. And basically that high-end all mountain, go anywhere, do anything killer. So it comes in two different bends. There is a classic camber from contact point to contact point, and then there's the Flying V, which is the rocker camber with a little bit of rocker in the nose and tail. So basically if you want the little bit more aggressive, always on edge feel, go with the camber. If you want a little bit more catch-free, floatier feel, then go with the Flying V. This thing is a directional board, but it's not super directional, just a little bit more length in the nose. So you're riding this thing switch, it actually feels like a twin tip board. It does have that centered WFO base, which is basically a sintered base that has wax that's basically been baked into the base, so super fast. And then this thing is loaded with a Triax glass, and it has the carbon I-beam, which is basically carbon strips that run tip to tail. So it's super springy, super stable, and it has tons and tons of pop. All right, next up is the Capita Paradise. Super rad graphic this year. The colors really pop. But this board in general, beyond the graphics, is one of their best-selling women's boards. They have the birds of a feather, and this one is kind of like a nice complement to that one for maybe somebody that wants a little bit smoother, easier ride. It is a fully twin tip board, so it's gonna ride the same that way that it does that way. And it has that super drive base that's nice and fast. The bend on it is a camber through the middle with a little bit of rocker in the nose and tail, so you kind of get the best of both worlds. You get that super snappy feel of the camber with that catch-free feel of the rocker. And then it does have a biax fiberglass to give it that nice, smooth, easy feel, but it is souped up with carbon aramid stringers underneath your feet, so you get a little bit more spring, a little bit more pop, and also you get a little bit more stability on your landings. Next board we've got is the K2 Dreamsicle. This board's been out for a couple years now, and it just gets more and more popular every single year. It is a directional shape, but again, it's still something that you can use in the park and you can use in the POW and kind of everywhere in between. The bend on it is flat through the middle with a little bit of rocker in the nose and tail, so you get crazy amounts of stability with that flat area, and you get that nice, easy, catch-free and floaty feel with the rocker in the tips. It does have an extruded base, so it is a little bit easier to take care of. It's something that you don't have to wax as often. And on the inside, they're doing a biax fiberglass, so the thing has a nice, easy feel, especially in and out of your turns. But it does have a couple carbon stringers in this thing too that are giving it a lot of spring and a lot of pop. So you can kind of get the best of both worlds, that nice, easy feel of a softer board, but you still get the spring of a little bit stiffer board. All right, next up, the Gnu B Nice. This is really almost a legacy board for Gnu. It has been around as long as I can remember, and it's actually one of their better selling boards. It's something that a beginner can jump on, learn really fast, and even some of the park riders really like this thing just because it has that nice, easy, soft feel. It is a twin tip board, and it does have their C2 bend, which is basically rocker in between your feet, a little bit of camber in the nose and tail, so you get that nice, easy, catch-free feel, but you still get a lot of spring and a lot of pop out of that camber pocket. And it does have a mixed glassing, so you get a layer of biax and a layer of triax, so you kind of get a little bit of that softer, easier feel, but when you really lay on this thing and carve really hard, it actually pushes back like it's a little bit stiffer board. All right, next up is the Ride Saturday. So this quickly became one of Ride's best-selling women's boards. It's an incredibly versatile park to POW style board. We've got a twin tip shape. The bend on it is a camber in between the feet, a little bit of rocker in the nose and tail. Again, we're getting kind of the best of both worlds out of both of those bends. We're also doing a sintered base on this thing, so it is super fast. We're also doing a mixed glass in this thing, so we get that biax and triax. Again, soft enough to ride the park, stiff enough to ride outside of the park. And in addition to that, it also has their Carbon Array 3, and it's basically 3 stringers that run across the board this way and 3 stringers that run across this way, nose and tail. And that does 3 things. It adds pop, because obviously we're running that carbon into the tips of the boards. It adds stability. When you go ahead and land, you're a little heavy on the front or heavy on the back. It actually wants to set you back down. But also by going up to your contact points, it's helping push pressure from your bindings towards the contact point. So you basically get a board that can be a little bit softer, but it's actually gonna dig like a stiffer board. All right, well, thanks for checking out just a few of our favorite women's all mountain boards for the 22-23 season. Obviously, we have a lot more amazing boards on thehouse.com. But if you got any questions about these boards or any of the boards on the website, definitely leave us some comments down below. We're on there every single day trying to answer your questions. We wanna make sure we get you into some rad gear, but most importantly, we wanna make sure that it's actually gonna fit you and it's gonna fit your specific riding style. Also, make sure to like, subscribe, definitely get that notification bell on too so you can find out when all the new videos drop. Grab yourself a new all mountain board and get out and ride, because any day of riding is a good day of riding.